Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about the Astros signing catcher Victor Caratini to a 2-year contract, and in so doing, confirmed two pretty big pieces, debatably two of the bigger pieces of the Astros offseason, which is Yainer Diaz is now the starting catcher of the Houston Astros, and Martin Maldonado's era is very likely over with. And we'll start with the actual news of Victor Caratini, which is they gave him a 2-year contract. I do not see anywhere where the money is out yet. I would assume it's nothing crazy because, again, this is very much bringing him in to be a backup catcher. And the numbers for him as a backup catcher are fine. He is a perfectly adequate catcher. The numbers are about middle of the pack for catchers, offensively speaking. Last season, he had a triple slash of 259, 327, 383. The expected numbers are virtually the same, so they're not buying high on a guy. It wasn't like he went out and hit, 259, but his expected batting average was like 210. The expected batting average, the expected slug, the expected WOBA, and actual WOBA are all basically the same. You're signing a guy who has pretty consistently been about a 90 to 95 WRC plus or OPS plus type of guy, which is, as a backup catcher, great. His arm is not particularly incredible. His pop time is pretty darn low for the league, but his framing is excellent. 89th percentile last season for framing among catchers in Major League Baseball, according to Baseball Savant, which is cool to look at. He's fine. It's not, and this is not meant to be an insult to the new guy. This is not a groundbreaking move for him. It's more so shaking up the rest of the team. This more or less confirms the two things that we kind of knew going into the offseason, but there was still that part of my mind that wondered. Yainer Diaz is now the starting catcher. You have one season in the career of Caratini where he started over 100 or played over 100 games, and it was in 2021 for the Padres. Yainer Diaz is the guy now, and I am really excited about that. I thought he looked really good at points last season. He worked really well with some of the young some of the young pitchers like JP France and Hunter Brown. I am excited about this. I was campaigning for him to be the starting catcher quite a lot last season, and with this, that kind of confirms it. The other side of the coin is that Martin Maldonado, unless something happens where he decides to hang up the cleats and pick up a clipboard and come back possibly as a coach, which I would be totally on board with. I've said this a lot. I would love to have him around as some form of coach. The players clearly love him. He clearly loves the city of Houston. If you could get him as quality control, some type of bench coach, or even just kind of bring him on to be a vibe guy, I'm totally down. I really, really adore Martin Maldonado, the person. It was just the catcher and the player last season, or more so the starting of the two, that I just wasn't totally on board with. My feelings with Martin Maldonado are the exact same that I had with Dusty Baker. I had questions about the on-the-field product that was being put out there, but as an individual, as a person, I adored Martin Maldonado. And even though I last year said a lot about how I would like to see him take a massive step back in terms of how many plate appearances and how many games he got, it's still sad to see. This is a catcher who's just been here for forever. He was here in 2018 via trade, and then they brought him back for 19. He was here during the dark time of 20 and was a very vocal leader and very important and integral for some of the young guys that were coming up. He was magnificent in 2020. I believe if I didn't make him the team MVP, he was darn near close to there for that awards video. I cannot say enough positive things about Martin Maldonado as an individual, and regardless of the play, it is still hard to see him go. Again, if you could find a way to bring him back, even if it's just an Ichiro thing for vibes, totally do it, because I would greatly like to see him continue to be around this baseball team. But that is all I have to say for right now. Should the Astros, or I guess I should say when the Astros make another move in free agency, I will be back to talk about it. But as for this evening, that is all I have to say. If you enjoyed this video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Stros.